Council. Happy New Year to you all. First item on the agenda, 648, to receive apologies for absence. I don't know if we've got any apologies, we're all present and correct.
No apologies.
Okay. To receive declarations of interest on any matters on the agenda this evening, and also to declare any dispensations. So has anybody got any interest on any matters arising this evening? No?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Well,
The finance one.
Dispensation.
well, I mean, if Village Hall comes up, you could.
Item 658.
Well, the Village Hall comes up, you've got dispensation.
Oh,
Yeah,
dispensation.
yeah.
In that case,
Yeah.
we're all in.
You're all involved in that, yeah?
Yeah. So that's 658.
Okay, no problem at all. Right, 650, to approve the minutes of the meeting of the 10th of December. Everybody's had these. Are they happy for me to sign these off as a true representation of that meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, updates and decisions from the previous meeting. Maria, I think you've got a couple, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a few. The new bins have been installed at the Collins Close play area.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes. The precept was sent off to South Cams. Also, we received information from South Cams that Nethy have applied to discharge one of the conditions, condition 17 of planning permission S2944, and that was just for our information.
Just
So
to butt in. What does that mean in English?
Well, I've got the-
Oh, you know what it's about.
yeah, well, it's on-
They have to discharge the planning conditions.
Yeah, I just wondered which one that was.
well, I've got the email
probably
here. It's
wasn't
he's currently being asked to approve conditions relating to external materials in the construction of the development. Visibility displays, details of the loading, unloading and storage of the open air fill material, and digestate and archaeology. It was in that decision notice document. Yeah, it was in the decision notice document, and that was one of the clauses.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
we're
Good.
just being kept informed, basically. The final update is I haven't actually received any interest for the parish councillor vacancy as yet. So if anyone hears of anyone who's interested, please let me know.
Any
We're keen
volunteers?
for any volunteers.
Any volunteers?
Any volunteers?
Don't all rush.
First run.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
If you don't want to say now, you can say later.
I'll think
Yeah.
about it.
You've got some somewhere.
So that-
Oh,
Thank you.
there's two over there, by the way.
Yeah? Absolutely. Any other updates?
No, they're the key.
Anything from anybody else? No. Okay. Right. Okay. To receive reports and updates from. Oh no, we've done that. Reports and updates from councillors. Additional proposal to the. Where are we?
Public participation.
Oh, going bad. I'm skipping right the way down. I do apologise.
652.
I'm on 652. Public participation. Anything from any members of the public?
Yes, please.
Sir, carry on.
I'd like to talk about the proposals for extra lighting in the car park. As I'm sure most of you are aware, I'm a resident next door. We overlook the car park. I'm not convinced that extra lighting there will alter the antisocial behaviour. Since we are overlooking the car park, we have a good idea of the frequency with which activity goes on at night, and it is quite infrequent now, and has become less frequent than the past. So I'm not convinced that there will be much gain for the village putting extra light around the car park. And as an adjacent resident, the light pollution would have a significant impact on our house. As I say, our bedroom overlooks the car park. We have a slight problem with the light on the side of the village hall. There's extra lighting going on further down the car park. It really would have an impact on us. And so I would strongly oppose any idea to put extra lighting. I know my near neighbour, Mrs McKillop, likewise feels very strongly about extra lighting in the car park.
Yeah, we have received a letter from her last year about the same issue.
But I appreciate there's going to be further discussion later on, which I will listen to with interest.
Can I say something?
Of
Sir.
course, yeah.
As I'm the recreation warden and car park affiliated boxing club for the village, I think because of a lot of my determination and diligence is getting some of the antisocial behaviour gone. What I wanted in the beginning was an extra light put on there as a deterrent, on a sensor. So people will start, light comes on, progress to having lighting in there. I'm fully aware of all the houses around it, but I think it would be a good idea to have a light in there because of late nights. We've got the village hall being used, old people, wheelchairs, and all the rest of it. A light for so that you can get to the cars and things, and I think it'd give the village a little bit more. The people in the village would look more upon us if we had parking with lighting. That is my view. I know what you're saying about the antisocial behaviour starting to calm down. That's taking a lot of work from
Various people.
various people.
I appreciate it.
But I'm fully for a light of some sort in the car park. I know it would, but we can't get these lights that shine down and I mean all this sort of thing. Just really for a deterrent to stop people. We're not going to completely get rid of the antisocial behaviour because they just move around the different car parks.
I guess a bit depends on, as you say, the nature of the lighting and where it's located. And I take on board your suggestion that it should be sensor movement related.
I think that's what Maria's been looking into, and I'll be honest with you, at the moment I think we're struggling with close to get down, to be honest with you, because people don't really want to quote for it.
Unless you would like to volunteer to put a sensor light on the side of your building so when cars do come into the village car park, it would light up.
Not really.
Anything else from members of the public?
Can I just say something about the telephone box?
Yes.
If that's okay. Yeah. I think it is being well used. I just wondered, Maria, we did discuss whether the Lindsay, who I don't really know if she's still looking after
Oh yeah,
it.
she is.
She
yeah,
is.
She is. Yeah, I've been in touch with her.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
She did say thank you to whoever had. Well, I think it was yourself and Cyril who cleared it out. She went to go and have a look at it and she said it was all tidy. That was
Right. Okay. Well, that's great if she is, because we took a lot of books.
There's a box in there tonight.
Yeah, so I've been emptying it out because it's constantly getting stuff dumped in there. And I've got about 100 books in my garage at the moment. Cyril took a van load to Wimpole and I've got masses and masses in my garage. And a lot of tatty magazines and things that people just dump in there, which I've just been putting in the recycling bin. But yesterday I found, I just wanted to show you this package that's got delivered. It says the Phone Box Library, Station Road, Shepreth, Cambridgeshire. and the postman put it in, and inside there was a book, and it says, "Hello, I borrowed a book from the phone box here in August, but did not replace it, so I am belatedly sending this one instead. I was pleasantly surprised to find the Phone Box Library whilst camping nearby. It was exactly what I wanted. Keep up the good work. Cheers." And then I can't read the signature, but it's someone from Oxford. I can't read what that says to you, but anyways. So,
A satisfied client.
isn't that lovely?
Yeah, that's nice.
But I don't know, because it's a parish council project, isn't it? So I don't know whether you want to put a little notice in
Yeah,
there
we'll put a notice that we'll put a notice
asking
in
people
there.
not to dump books.
Why don't we
Put it in the newsletter
why don't we
quite
put a
often.
notice in the newsletter?
Yeah.
Why don't we put something on the
big notice.
website as well?
It's probably not
Yeah.
people from the village, that's the thing. I don't think if you put it in the newsletter, anybody's going
Well,
to
we'll put it on the website or
Or if we
whatever
just
we'll
make
do.
up a little sign.
Make
Or
a
make
saying-
a sign and put on
I
there.
put a sign
Yeah.
actually on the.
Yeah, just say it's
Yeah.
a book exchange. The idea is that
Yeah.
you take one and leave one.
Yes.
You know, like a library. Well, yeah, you give back, but you
Yeah.
don't dump all your books that you got rid of, because I've got a lot in the garage, so I don't know if anybody wants them. If not, we'll take them to Wimpole.
Take them to Wimpole, like we did
Wimpole.
before.
Yeah.
They're always great.
There's a telephone box in Shelford, does the same as well.
Yeah, why don't we take them there?
We're around the
Nice
villages.
know.
You know, we swap them round. You know, we'll put a carriage out, yeah,
The difference about it, Jimmy, is the Shelford telephone box.
it's right on that junction.
Yes, I know, but it's the other way round,
Right.
so you can get shelves on two sides.
Right, I've seen it, I've been in there.
Whereas ours, it's got one door, so you can only put the shelf opposite the door, otherwise you can't get in there.
It's a good thing, the telephone box, I've used it quite a bit, maybe.
Yeah,
Interesting
it's
books.
quite really used it.
Yeah.
Maria, I do want to ask Lindsay if she wants to take the books that I've taken out of there.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll ask Lindsay what she wants to do
What
with
she
them.
wants to do with them, so an awful lot of them.
Lots of book on yachting.
Yes.
We'll just put them in our van, I'll take them back to Wimpole,
Right.
like we did the others.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
thank you.
remind me.
Okay.
Anything else from members of the public? Well, thank you very much. Okay, moving on then, to receive reports and updates on issues from county and district councillors, ladies. Which one do we have the pleasure of first this evening? Susan?
Okay.
You coming up here?
Yep.
You are?
For the camera.
What's getting you radio?
Can you get past?
You alright?
Yep.
Good.
Sorry I missed the December meeting and I
Oh, you didn't
especially-
dress it up, did you?
that was what I was so sorry to miss, and I was going to wear a hat tonight, but I
You made
decided-
up for it going round Rice in a Santa Claus suit.
You
That's
did?
true, I did. That's true, thank you. Right, okay, and also I did get here on time. That was for Cyril.
Pardon?
I got here on time tonight.
Good.
That was for you.
Was it? Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Start the new year. Right, I have to give first the inevitable
Bad
bad
news.
financial news, because I really have to.
You have some of that.
And it will it will be like this until there is no more government revenue support grant for district and county councils at all. So the way we've always worked is the district and county councils depend on grants from central government to run the public services that we are legally required to provide. And this government has decided not to provide that grant any longer. And it is being phased out and it will disappear completely. So this is not austerity, this is a different way of working. By 2020, over a period of 10 years, it is estimated that George Osborne will have made a cut to local government of 79%. So there are some grants that are left over that are very specific and ring-fenced, for example, the public health grant and so on. So it's complicated, but the basic message is it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And I'm sorry to have to keep giving these reports, but at the same time that it's getting so bad, the role of councillors is to try and find new ways of doing things. And you have to be quite scrappy, really, and work together with people to find new ways of providing services. For example, the 128 bus, which is subsidised, which I've told you so many times is going to disappear. It will disappear. And then those people are going to need a different way of being independent. And they don't always want to ring up for a lift because it may be humiliating. So, if we can, or it may not actually enable them to be independent because you've got to organise it in advance. So these are the kinds of questions we're just constantly trying to solve. And it's important, obviously, for parish councils. So the other really important announcement from Osborne just before Christmas, I think it was the 19th of December, was that councils will be allowed to raise their council tax by an extra 2% specifically to pay for social care. So at the same time that government isn't going to give us any more money, they also tell us exactly how high we can raise council tax. So they're not really making us independent. They're holding a string. So we're allowed to raise council tax by a certain amount for general purposes. Plus, we are now allowed to raise an extra 2%. And if we do that in Cambridgeshire, it will bring £4.8 million specifically for social care. And that is the sector that is under severe stress. Unfortunately, not all councillors think that it's a good idea to raise council tax. And I don't usually give a political report, but this is really, really important. There is a view that raising tax is bad publicity. It's bad, you should never raise tax. But if we don't have that extra 4.8 million, we have to make more cuts. So I hope that this will be decided on February the 15th. Okay, moving on to other things. Shepreth Station footfall rise. So we've had a report from the Office of the Rail Regulator who count the number of passengers at all the stations. And Shepreth has had another very significant rise. So starting at 2010, there were 79,000 people a year using Shepreth Station. 2014, it had jumped to 92,000.
You're talking about movements as opposed
Getting
to
on,
And off.
using the train.
On
So, but from 2014 to 15, it rose from 92,000 to almost 106,000. And the same jump at Foxton and the same proportional jump at Meldreth. And that's why the rail user group needs this. We need to work to lobby the train operating company to have more trains running through, like half-hourly off-peak. And we need at least 8-car, if not 12-car trains. And I'm afraid to play the game of trying to get more money, because we do have to do that. So I spent Tuesday, the whole of Tuesday in East Croydon, meeting a bunch of community rail partnership people like us. And by doing that, I was eligible to apply for £500 funding for Shepreth Station and 500 for Foxton and 500 for Meldreth, if I can get an application with a risk assessment in by a certain date. So that's the kind of thing we have to do. And that's just to make you aware. But I will be asking the Parish Council if it could formally join a special Shepreth Rail Partnership, because we have our own in Shepreth, our own in Foxton, our own in Meldreth. We get 3 different lots of funding. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You can plug your ears for a minute, Cyril, please.
Bikes. Bikes.
I was going to say.
Turn your head, turn your head. Okay, so thank you very much to everybody, and also people from Shepreth who supported the crazy ride around Royston with our Santa hats. We had 72 individual donors, and this is to raise money as a community contribution to create a safe link between Melbourne and Royston. With 72 contributors, we made £1,514, and we're continuing to, with some other projects just like that, with other types of hats and costumes and themes. And then this week, work is going to start on the new path to join up Shepreth Lakes to the level crossing. Don't listen. Okay, moving straight on to something else. MAID, so Melbourne Area Youth Development. You know that you kindly, well, the parish councils make a contribution to run the youth club, and I've written to Barrington Parish Council because there are quite a few children from Barrington going to the Melbourne Youth Club. So I wrote a long letter and explained how the whole thing works and would they consider a donation. And actually they wrote back and they said, we have a lot of children from Shepreth attending and we weren't going to charge them anything. We also have a lot of children from Melbourne, the same friendship groups. And Barrington Parish Council funds its youth club independently. So my own advice would be to just let that be. And I said, thank you very much, and I'll be sure to report it. But it is a significant number of children from other villages, and it seems really good that these clubs are open to children, young people, and that there are more and more opportunities for them, and that there are no restrictions. So if you want to mull that over, we can, hopefully you agree with me. Then Collins Close, the play area and the exposure to the railway line. I just got an answer back. I've been sort of tussling with Network Rail and the County Council, each one saying, it's your land, it's your land, it's your responsibility. And actually it's Network Rail's responsibility to keep the railway safe. So we put it to them quite robustly, and they are now going through the necessary steps to get funding from within Network Rail to create a safety barrier along the railway.
Closed after.
Yeah. Basically, if they acknowledge but anyway, we seem to have got where we need to be at this point, although it's not complete yet, but it's well on the way. We're going to have a bus users meeting to which Cyril is invited on the 25th of February, 10:30. It's a Thursday, and you can drive any of your buses to Meldreth, to Ealing Way, to the Sheltered Housing Community Room, which is where we're having the meeting. And I will come talk to you about it beforehand. This is for people.
You'll remind me.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And then the Frog End Information Evening, there was a misprint in the Shepreth newsletter. On the back page it gives the wrong date, and inside it gives the correct date. And unfortunately the correct date is before the incorrect date. It's the 25th of January in this room between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. We're going to give it an
Put it
extra
on our
hour.
notice boards as well anyway, and on the website.
Okay, and then the last thing, broadband, because Barrington Road, Frog End, and the Dunsbridge Turnpike section of Frog End are not, David and Sheila, you're still not with us?
We're not connected.
Yeah. So, there's a mix of news, but basically everyone who's written to me since the last Shepreth newsletter, which highlighted said please get in touch if you've got a problem. So the county council is writing individually to everybody to look at that particular house. If you want to write to me again, please do. There's good news and bad news. Barrington Road should be getting resolved, we hope, in about a month's time. And Frog End has 2 different cabinets, with some houses too far from the relevant cabinet. It's very technical and complicated, but again, if you'd like to write to me, I'll put you right in touch with the person you need. And that's it.
I didn't think we didn't go through the cycle path enough at all.
No, we didn't know, it's too quick, you whipped past
Whipped
it.
past that one.
Do you realise now that through ordering the station car park, that people are parking in the street? Because you just said more people are using the trains, and the Village Hall station car park used to hold 22 cars, now it holds 13, because you've put that huge bike thing stuck in there.
No, actually it has 1 more space than it did before the bike racks here.
But I mean, now it's got that walkway down and a big
Yeah.
gap where you can do anything
Yeah.
with.
But we've got more.
I'm afraid that you got them over there saying that and them over there saying that.
Yeah, but I can tell you, people are now parking in the street.
I know they are, I know. And they're also parking, fortunately, illegally with a blind eye turned by Network Rail on the other side.
I know.
It's going to, I mean, the
It's going to
station...
get worse.
Yeah, it's going to get worse. At Meldriff, we're trying to persuade Network Rail to buy the empty half of the lot where a go-code used to be. You know...
I mean, Meldriff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about Shepherd's
I know, but
Yeah.
these 3... People who can't park at Foxton will park at Shepreth.
That's what I mean, so...
Yeah. You're right. And equally, there's now a 25-minute delay at 5:30 coming back from Cambridge on the A10 due to the number of times that level crossing barriers are going down. And whereas if you cycle from Harston to Foxton, it takes 4 minutes and 45 seconds.
If you can get through the gates.
So, no, they're working now.
No,
Yeah.
I mean when we have the delay.
Well, they go up and down. No, they go up and down a lot, but the cars can't.
Just a
go
big
through.
click on the bike.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susan.
Okay.
Thank you. Philippa.
Don't give me any answer to that.
But there isn't no answer, Cyril, and that's the reason.
Well, they can pay me to tell that a bit more.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
Jimmy, I've just noticed I missed you off the circulation list for my report. I do apologise. And it's slightly updated from what people received a couple of days ago. So I have learnt that we've spoken about the boundary realignment for the wards. And thank you if you took part in the consultation. I think you did, didn't you?
Yes,
Sort of mixed results. The council has decided to recommend to the Boundaries Commission the ward structure which was drawn up by one of the Tory members, which I would just, in some areas of the district, it does appear to be a little bit political is a good word for it, Tony. However, as I've said before, we think, well, we hoped that things would turn out all right for us here, and without making this into a party manifesto, I will just say that I think we've got what we wanted, which is that we're going to be with Melbourne, Wadden and Meldriff in a 2-member ward. if this is the structure that's adopted, apparently there's no guarantee that it will be. So this may all come back again.
When will they decide?
I can't remember, I don't hold your breath. Okay. So planning, so I'm going to read this out for the benefit of the camera. As I've reported before, South Cambs is in a vulnerable position with its local plan currently suspended, probably for the remainder of this year, and huge downward political pressure to build more houses. We are often seeing reports in the national press now, aren't we? At a local level, this is translated as follows. So, Marley Eternit, the factory between Meldreth and Wadden, has presented its proposals to Meldreth Parish Council in November for a residential scheme comprising 170 houses on land it owns off Wadden Road. Now that's a little bit of an abbreviation. In fact, it's presented two alternatives to us. One would be to build on the old site, which would require a huge clean-up in terms of the contamination. The other would be to build on clean agricultural land closer into the village. They are going to be presenting their ideas to the village at an event to be held on Saturday the 27th of, why haven't I put that, February, yes, from 2 p.m. in Meldreth Village Hall. That is a public event open to all. Gladman Development's scheme for a housing scheme in the grounds of Foxton Hall has been scaled back to 76 dwellings and came again before South Cambs Planning Committee yesterday. It was refused again on the same grounds as the earlier application for 95 houses. So that is that it is not consistent with the type of village, and also that it's a loss of amenity both to the village itself and to the Grade 2 listed building. It's proposed to be also set to receive a second hearing scheduled for later in the year. I'll keep you posted about that. And you all know that the County Council is proposing a small-ish scheme adjacent to Collins Close. And is that going to be publicised?
Yes, yeah, that's
already been done. The whole village has been mailed dropped.
It's been publicised. It's on the 20th of January.
And it's on the 20th of January.
Yeah.
It's on the website. Everybody's had a notice through their door.
Good.
And
Yeah,
it's been in the magazine.
Newsletter.
Fine, okay. Neighbourhood plans do seem to be now being pushed quite a lot. South Cambs has published a frequently asked question guideline document if anybody is interested in seeing it. I think it'll be available on the website anyway, but okay.
Is that the one we've seen?
That's one.
That's
We've
one,
seen, yeah, it's
yeah.
a lot complicated.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's quite, I must admit, I thought it was
Yeah.
technical, even with a bit of prior knowledge, so,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
quite complicated. I
yes,
thought.
Yeah.
Initial read.
yeah.
Yeah.
So any questions?
Any questions of Philippa? No, you're released from school.
Thank you very much. That radiator is really very hot.
It's lovely, isn't it? Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay, 654, reports and updates from the Village Hall, Douglas.
No, from Ruth.
It's Ruth, isn't it?
Ruth, sorry, I do apologise, Ruth. Getting it all wrong tonight.
Don't worry.
Yeah, we're, as I said last month, we're now, we no longer have the preschool, as you see, we lost all the equipment, so we're looking at other forms of income from various, whether we can get to rent the hall. We're going to look into costings for replacing or refurbishing the two changing room toilets and shower rooms, because they're, I think they've been there about 35 years or something, haven't they, Cyril?
How many years?
35?
A bit more than that.
Bit more than that, is it?
They're
Okay.
right.
They're desperately in need
It's
of a
20
change
years since I
anyway.
fixed the roof.
Oh, and at replacing the roof. We're also still thinking about the other room. We're not sure what to do at the moment, to be quite honest. We've had a email from Heidi Allen that was forwarded by Maria about the Rugby Cement Benevolent Fund, And in fact, they donated £80,000 to one village hall, complete refurbishment.
Could be a good avenue to
So,
pursue.
but I mean, that's going to be it's not going to happen quickly if we go down that route. And I'm afraid nothing's happened much since last month, what with Christmas and New Year in the meantime. But I'll start looking at getting quotes and things for plans for the changing rooms and the roof. That's about it, really.
Okay.
We had anything about the plans at Barrington.
Plans at Barrington.
Do you know anything about plans at Barrington?
You mean the housing?
Yes, for housing.
I don't know when the building is starting, but it's all been approved.
Yeah.
Is it, how many houses?
220, isn't it?
220, I think.
220.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, Ruth, thank you very much.
Two more spaces for Barton.
More cars.
Multi-storey car.
Jimmy, rec warden.
Well, there's not a lot happening, it's nice and tidy with the weather and everything, it's like a quagmire. I have got one question for the parish councillors. The recreation grounds look nice and tidy, apart from one big eyesore, Station Road fencing. Have we got any control of the residents of Station Road regarding their fencing on the recreation ground? There's three got big holes in it. One's got half a trailer hanging out of it.
Half a what?
Half a trailer.
Oh,
It's their fence,
trailer.
is it?
Yeah,
Unless you're going to put something more.
the 12 one, everything's sticking out of it. You go up on the back, you've seen the second from the
Oh,
end.
yeah.
It's got a big home with the kids kicking the football and everything. They've got straight in the gardens, back out again. I'm just wondering, I remember Councillor Jenny did have a thing about the fences in Shepreth, in the Station Road. And I believe she spoke to all of them, said, could you fix your fences at one stage? I don't know how we
I
stand
think
on that.
you could. They're not our fences, certainly on the
They're on the
boundary,
boundary,
the boundaries, the
Who
fences.
paid for, sorry,
That was an insurance claim.
your fences?
Was an insurance claim.
Well, that's another story.
That was an insurance
Shepreth
claim.
Parish Council paid for it.
No, the insurance
Insurance.
paid for it.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying,
But how can we get everybody else's on the
we
same
just
way?
put, I mean, it's just, the wreck looks nice
I think.
and everything, it's just
Well,
when you
who's
go
responsible for the fence?
Well, they're not our fences, they're their fences.
So they're responsible.
Yeah, so they're responsible. So the only thing you can do is politely write to them and ask them to repair their
Because
fences.
the
But
set-
also on council.
Not many.
Not, I don't know which
Two.
ones are.
So
Which ones
so
aren't.
it doesn't answer the question.
Well, one will
Don't
be.
ask the council because they ain't got any money.
Would they be a danger to people using the wreck?
You'd have to do some sort of risk assessment or
It's
something.
just that
for-
the recreation is looking smart, Commons Close is smart, and you walk the recreation ground and one of the fences, it's just got a dirty big hole in it, and as you come 2 doors away from it, there's a trailer hanging out, and it just looks,
Well, I'm well aware of that,
Yeah, right.
but you can't do anything about it, can you?
just
I
a
think
question,
well-
it's just a question I'd like to ask.
They're definitely not our fences if you look at the title on the, when we bought it.
Yeah.
Because they're on the boundary, they're the responsibility of the homeowners there. So I suppose we could actually, as I say, politely write to them and ask them to repair it and
You
say,
can't send them a bill for 400 quid and say you've got a door there, a gate there, and they say actually,
Is the trailer dangerous?
Yeah, is it causing obstruction though?
The hook, it's because that's set backwards, where, if the kids run along the side, right up against it, they're gonna hit it. It's just lots of stuff, it just looks, if you ever walk around, it just looks.
we'll have a walk round, get the numbers and ask them
Yeah.
to do something.
It just looks,
Yeah. Whether they do it or not is another
it's
matter.
just something I thought I'd ask.
Also,
So,
the grass is due to be cut at the
We're trying to put
recreation
that at the
ground.
moment.
No, when it
It's
stops
ducks on
raining,
it.
because they need it for the football, so I've asked Justin to cut it before next Saturday, because they can't mark it out because it's too long. So if it stops raining, they can cut it before then.
In that case, Maria, I did mean to email you because when I was doing the leaflet drop,
Yeah.
we went as far as the wildlife park, so make sure everybody's got one. Came back through the wreck and there were bits of tape everywhere.
Oh, there, I'll have to email them.
Well, that's the footballers.
The
Yeah,
footballers,
yeah.
yeah, okay, I'll email them.
And but it's not our job to pick it all up. they should
What,
be
what,
dropping it.
what is this tape used
Well,
for?
They put it round their
They
socks.
put it round their socks.
They put it round their socks and they also put it round the goalpost to hold the nets on.
Yeah.
Then they rip them off and drop it off everywhere.
Just leave it.
Okay, I'll email the two. There's two
What put it round
teams.
their
I presume it's the adult team, not the younger
Yeah,
ones.
because the children's team, I think, have the smaller nets and the nets
it'll be the
stay on there.
Shepreth
Yeah,
football.
perhaps they could do it before Saturday so that the bits don't get mowed up.
Yeah. Okay.
You ask them, can you
I'll
drop
email
Scott an
them.
email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's,
Anything else,
In
Jenny?
other words, tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
I'll email him tonight.
Thank you. Okay. 655 planning. This is an application. Yes, sorry. Single storey side extension on 1 Falmere Road in Shepreth. You've all seen. It is big. You've all seen the plans. I don't think we've had any.
No comments.
We've had no comments or objections in.
Certainly nothing in favour.
So, does anybody want to see the plans? Have you seen what you want to see? Has anybody got any questions? Mr. Mann's here. If you've got any
I just
questions.
spoke to the resident tonight and said I did pop my head in his garden because I did knock on the door and I was there just to have a look and the size and I ain't got a problem. It looks, I think it looks quite nice actually. You know what I mean?
Fine.
Any other comments or questions, or is anybody quite happy to go to a?
I don't think there's any
Aye,
reason
or
to.
anything.
It's fair to be happy, but I think it's acceptable under planning rules.
It has to be under planning.
Okay. Right. In the case nobody's got any questions or comments and we've not received anything, we'll go straight to a vote on these. So those in favour, those against. Okay, it's fine. I will sign that.
Just open it, put up with the right.
Thank you.
It's a granny flat.
You can go now.
It's got to be a granny flat, I heard.
It's not
Very
small.
Get a very small granny. Okay, finance. 656 finance and payments. Only 2 this month. We've got, not including VAT, these £429.76 for the clerk's salary and £180 for the installation of the 2 new bins at Collins Close, which will come out of the relevant fund for Collins Close on the account. Sorry? Yeah, it does. On the accounts. Any questions of Maria with regard to the finance? No? Okay, fine. Can I have a proposer for those, please, and can I have a seconder? Okay, those in favour? Those against? That's fine. Okay, we'll get that done. You'll load them up and we'll click the buttons, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, 657, Clerk's report. Maria.
It's all the usual tasks really, meeting agendas, drafting minutes, displaying agendas, leaflets, responding to inquiries by email and phone, planning, freedom of information requests, finance, bank reconciliation, PAYE, updating website, reviewing documents, newsletter copy, and liaising with South Cams. They're the key things that I do.
Any questions of Maria from either councillors or members of the public?
No.
No? Okay, very simple. Thank you, Maria. Keep doing it. 658, Finance Village Hall. Douglas, you want this on the agenda?
Well, I think I'm going to hand over to Ruth, and I think she's covered it.
Okay.
Not all of it.
Yeah, well, basically once we get quotes in for the work on the changing room, maybe show them to the parish council.
Have you had any quotes at all for the flat roof?
Yeah, we have one.
Yeah, for the flat roof we have just
£8
one.
grand gross.
8.
Gross.
Okay.
I haven't got a clue what the changing rooms would cost though.
Okay.
I don't think we'll be able to go to Northern Bathroom Company. I think we'll have to go possibly to a specialist company, will we? No.
Victoria Plum can't do it.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Beat the plum rice and wood.
Do you want that to remain on the agenda?
Yes,
Would you like
please.
it for February?
On February. Okay, 659, car park lighting quotes. I don't think we're really any
No,
farther advanced on
well-
this than we were last month, are we?
Yeah, it's proving quite difficult. I have 2 quotes, but they're slightly obviously different. One was with one light with a sensor, and that was more around sort of 1,000, but that was an initial estimate. And then we received a more detailed quote with 5 different lights, and that's more like 4,500. But we need to have 3 quotes really to compare. So
You are chasing the
I
third
have
quote.
Firm up on
Yeah.
what the
Yeah, we need to-
criteria
yes, yeah.
is. 5 and 1 is different.
well, yeah, it's because it's a different number of lighting. But really, you need to decide on whether you actually want to pursue it. Really, are we definitely pursuing it?
Well, Jimmy does.
Yeah.
Well, the idea wow was one light on the back goes straight down with a sensor on the side.
Yeah.
So as the cars come up, the sensor goes on, the light shines down there. And, you know what I mean, that's what, just for deterrent.
Yeah, well, all these quotes are for lighting with sensors. Anyway, they're not lights that are going to be on all the time. So, but yes, we need to wait for the 3rd quote. So sorry about that, but they're proving quite elusive. A lot of these.
Well, so do you want to chase that 3rd quote and then put it on the agenda for next month, and then actually make a decision as to whether we're going to do something, whether we're not going to do
I
something?
think we need to know, Mr Chairman, what we want,
I agree.
for a start.
Well,
Yeah. Do you want one light? Some of them are one light.
What do you want?
Another company's proposed different lighting. Do you want just one light further down on a sensor? Because there's one that comes in as you drive into the car park, that light comes on. One company's proposed one sort of on this, oh it's over there isn't it, that left side,
I mean,
there, yeah,
there's
on
one
that
here.
stretch of grass, you know the grass level with the fence, sort of putting one light there
But
to shine
the one
over
that's
that
there
way.
now does light up.
Yeah, that does,
half,
yeah.
But it's not on a sensor.
No,
So
you
that's
could
the
change
problem.
that.
I think we should look at that, because we have to
Yeah.
switch it on and off here and people
Yeah,
don't
that's
remember.
good, yeah.
But how do you, if you want to illuminate the car park, how do you do the far bit on the right hand side looking that way?
well, that's what
That's
the
one
more
of the, that's
expensive
the
one
more
is.
expensive quote here.
Yeah.
And you received it today.
Because you've got to
Yeah,
lay
you've got
cables
to
and
lay
everything over there and
cables.
get power
And you
over
need a
there.
cherry picker.
I've got a spotlight at the back of my house,
I only received it last night because
which is a normal spotlight, it's up the height,
Yeah.
and if somebody comes over the top of my fence, you get splattered with it, because I've got it angled that way, and the sensor's down. And all it is,
Well, I'm not
No, it is
sure
a
Mr.
cable.
Man wants to be splattered.
all it is a cable.
The people
You mean I
that
put a cable, I put it myself.
I think
It's on a
this.
sensor.
I
That's
think
all we're
this.
after.
This basically originally started with a light in the car park, and then somebody got hold of it, and we had a complete report on lights, security guards, CCTV, and I think this is where it's all got very confusing, to be honest with you.
From the beginning, all I really wanted was a spotlight on the back with a sensor on the side, so when the cars come up, it hit the sensor, the light comes on, so it illuminates the car park.
That's all we want.
Is it not, because we
Well,
can't
we've got
put,
one that,
yeah, that's off and on and switches.
well, why don't we convert that to a
Into a
sensor?
Convert it to a
So
sensor.
really all you need is that one that's there
Can't be
now.
our threat.
Yeah, and just
Just
make sure that it
put a
doesn't shine on any of the gardens.
On a light, so when the cars come in, it lights up, and people think,
So what you're talking about is that existing one there on a
I
sensor.
just turn it round so
Light up
it's
his garden.
No,
I've got it,
you must
I've
be
got
able to
it, my
cover
God.
it so that it goes in a
Yeah.
certain direction, can't
You
you?
can
That's what
angle
I
it,
said.
you can angle
You can
it.
angle it and
You've got one at your front door, you come to the front door.
So
it
you
comes
can
on.
shield it
you
from
can shield it
next
so it doesn't want to
door.
go on. Yeah, that was
as well.
that was
Well,
how I
all
explained it.
the reason you have to was a spotlight, and when the cars come in, the light come up, and I went, oh Christ, there's lights on here, let's get out of here.
So that's the village hall light then that needs
Yes.
changing. Okay.
But it's not for us.
Okay, so why don't we go back to square one then? Speak to these
is
people
that
and
all
just
you
get
want
them to
then
do
now?
that and
Just
find out what that's going
Is
to
that
cost.
how
Yeah.
what you've agreed
Yeah,
then?
see, I remember it started off with
Yeah.
being able to walk from this door to the car park,
Yeah.
Yes,
being lit up.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's your
not the
vandals
same
that
as
don't exist.
the car park. Yeah, but that was just people using this pathway to get
Yeah.
into a car.
So you want
Like
this
it
light
is
to be on a
up.
sensor, so someone, as soon as someone comes around there or a car, it comes on.
Yeah, that's all
And there's
I
no
was
reason
originally
why
after.
That should
All
be
I was
out.
originally after.
Should
Yeah.
cause any light pollution out of
No.
the car park itself, or you just design it so it doesn't go out of the car park, presumably.
Well, I'm sure they can put a guard around it. or
Does the
something.
existing one pollute
Yeah. The existing-
badly?
That's
But
because
you
it's
could
very
live with
old
that.
though, probably hasn't got a shield on it or anything.
Hasn't got a
If it's
shield.
on a
It must be. It's an old light up
That's
there.
just a light they got put up to see if it worked, though, didn't it? That wasn't.
It's been out.
Well, it's
Design.
only reason-
You just want one with a shield on it.
Put up.
Well, that one.
Yeah. Can't be the board.
Okay, so shall
We'll
we?
look for a
Okay,
shield.
so this all originally started off with just the light in the car park, and as I say, it all got out of hand
That's
basically.
all at the beginning.
So what you're talking about is just that light with the sensor on it, so when a car comes
Yeah,
past,
it
it
lights
comes
on.
on for a period of time.
Yeah, how many minutes do you think?
Well, it doesn't matter because you can set it to what you want, can't you?
Yeah.
We'll
Can you go
discuss
back?
it.
Can you go back
Well,
to
that
square?
simplifies it loads.
It
then.
simplifies it. Can we go
It's
back?
supposed to be simple, isn't it?
Well, I think
Well, it was
a lot
simple.
of the councillors.
It was simple to start with. Sorry, Susan. Sorry.
Just for information, Melbourne Parish Council has gone through exactly the same exercise over a very long period of time, and you'll see the refurbished car park. I know it's bigger, but it's in a residential area, and the Parish Council acquired the car park, and so they've had to deal with a lot of the same issues. They did have an antisocial behaviour problem. I'm aware of because I had to be involved with dealing with it. But long story short, there are a couple of really good parish councillors there who might be able to offer you some.
Okay, so we'll ask them as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So can we go back to square one on this, and let's go back to what we originally started with until it all got out of hand?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh, me?
Is everybody happy with that? Yes?
I think it's
Are we happy with that? Yep.
Is that all agreed then? That's the.
I think that's what we go after and find out what that's going to cost. And even though it belongs to the village hall, it's our car park, so
Well, it's also two-sided, isn't it, because it's protecting the village hall as well.
yeah. Okay.
And hopefully that will suit everybody, including
Who's representing that?
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Right. So everybody happy with Maria to go back and simplify that?
Yeah, I don't really need it lit up like a.
No, you don't want to lit up like a no. Okay, fine. 660 neighbourhood planning. This is what Philippa touched on, I think. And I know, sorts of giggling. This is what Philippa touched on, and I think you've all seen it. I don't know if you've read it. It's about 28, 29 pages long. We have been asked to make any comments on it by
the 19th of February.
19th February. Comments on the proposed list of strategic policies, please. So if anybody's got any comments on the proposed list of strategic policies.
I'll tell you, may I just, what I'm going to do at the next.
Can you simplify it for us?
Yes,
Can
I'm
you
going to
praise it
find out
down?
what strategic
We'd like to
policies
translate
are,
It's quite
because
complicated.
I don't know what they are really.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I googled that.
I was just trying to sound intelligent.
But neither of us.
Yeah.
I would say
To
that
digest it.
I think I'll find out a bit more about this, because on the one hand we seem to be undergoing quite a lot of reduction in local communities' ability to shape their own planning, and then we're being told we need to do our neighbourhood plans, which should strengthen our arm, and there doesn't seem to be much consistency actually.
No.
So I'll try and find out a bit more.
Okay.
Thank
That'd
you.
be good, thank you. I think we've still got time to comment next week.
Yes, we would.
We can still
We've got
bring it
time.
back to the next meeting in that
Yeah.
case. So we'll expect an email from you, no more than 2 lines, explaining it. Philippa, is that right?
Would we be able to have it in advance of the next meeting, please?
I'll try. Yeah.
So we have specific guidance on rail freight,
I'll do.
which is on the 6th page of policies that they've identified.
This is
Right, okay.
I think we can find out where some cuts might come from.
Do you want to put a link to that on the website as well? So yeah, I mean, put that link on the website. So yeah, so if anybody from the public have got any comments.
How much did the council have to pay for
Yeah,
that?
I think that's.
The council got no money, and then I mean it's mad.
Talking about costs,
Look at all
because
that.
my wife,
It took 10 men 10 days to do all that.
how
Longer
much
than
do you
that.
think the work at the junction at Frog Inn's going to cost?
Oh, 100 and something thousand.
150, I was told.
Yeah.
And if we want traffic lights at the end of
Oh,
Falmouth
yeah.
Road, do you know how much?
£500,000 quid,
I don't understand it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
got to be wrong.
yeah. No, that's what they
I
cost.
told you years ago, me and Harold can put them up there.
Well, I think you and Harold should get the job. But you won't be accredited and you won't get it.
Okay,
You give us the lights and we'll fix
I
it.
think you're right.
all right, fine.
Absolutely, there's a problem.
So that is, Philippa, you're going to send something through that's going to make it very simple for us to understand, and then we're going to be able to respond, correct?
I'll do my best.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's fine. Okay, 661, I can't say the word, Ruth.
Vexations.
Complainants. I put this on because we had what I would just basically list as a scattergun freedom of information request, which was not specific. It was literally just let's fire some bullets around and see if we can hit something. We've dealt with it. Subsequently, we've had another email back in saying we haven't dealt with it, and we've emailed back saying we have dealt with it. We can't do anything about this particular complaint, but I think that what we should make people aware of now, the parish council has received numerous unfounded complaints over the last couple of years from numerous people, normally the same sort of people. If further or similar complaints are received of an unfounded nature, the PC will consider implementing their managing unreasonable complaints behaviour policy. I think the concern here is the amount of money it's costing at South Cambs to deal with these, and they're just totally unfounded.
How much so far?
Yeah, I haven't got precise figures, but you're talking thousands of pounds, and there's not one complaint that's been upheld at all. This particular person that's done the freedom of information request, it resulted from an unfounded complaint, and now they're taking it further, and we're just going around in circles with it. As I say, it's scattergun or even personal sort of vendetta, whatever. I don't know.
Vexatious as well.
Vexatious, but I mean we can't do anything about this. But if we get a similar complaint from the same party, then I think we should look at implementing it. So
I've looked at this a lot because I believe the residents got a right to complain and ask for freedom of information because they are the parishioners of the parish. If it is unfounded, obviously, then we move forward.
Yeah.
well, that's what we're saying, because everything has been. Yeah.
But we've got to, how do we put this, because we work, as we're sitting in this room, we work for the parishioners of the village, the residents of the village. The residents of the village thinks it's wrong, and I've said it before, I'd like to know it ASAP. But if they've got it wrong, have we not got channels we can do, you know what I'm saying, they can put in,
Absolutely.
can we not?
This is the only channel that we've got. This is our channel. There is no other channel. And if a complaint's been dealt with by South Cambs, and subsequently a freedom of information request has then come from that unfounded complaint, we've then dealt with that freedom of information request, and we're now being told we've got to look at it again.
But it's not like a tier that the complaints come to us and then it goes to South Cambs, or is it the other way around?
It's come to us, it's gone to South Cambs. South Cambs have gone back and said there's no complaint to answer. Subsequently, from that person, a freedom of information request has come in, which is a scattergun freedom of information request. We've dealt with that, gone back, and now subsequently she's come back, or they have come back again. So we're going backwards and forwards.
Slightly different questions.
So
I haven't
No,
seen it.
she's making
I haven't seen it, so anyway.
the complaint.
but I mean, I think we just need to be aware that if these continue, that we need to be ready to implement this policy.
I agree.
I don't know if everybody agrees on that.
Completely.
You agree? For any ideas on projects to go onto the agenda for next month?
I didn't realise it was appertaining to that, but it doesn't matter. I thought it was just ideas.
No, well, it is ideas, but I mean, it's we need to start looking at how we're going to spend this money for the benefit of the village. And I think if any council have got any ideas, Maria's going to jot them down and we can put them to the meeting next month. We obviously can't do it now because we've got to publicise, we're going to talk about it, and if people want to come along and make a comment. And also, we need to get something out to the public to say we've got this money, and has anybody got any ideas on what they want to do, which is part of the strategic plan. But I think we need to push this on now, because we've been going around in circles on this, and we've got a lot of money that we could spend to improve things, and it's just sitting there.
We could need it empty bins in the village.
Good what?
You haven't heard about that one
We
yet?
could lend it to the county council.
It's costing everybody in the north east
At
£16
exorbitant.
per month.
Big interest
Empty their
until they
bins.
get better off. Is that possible?
They've got to pay for their bins to be empty, £16 per household.
Where's
No.
that here?
North east, Barnsley, north east Barnsley and Warminster. Each get charged for £16 per month to empty their bins.
every household.
On top of the council.
On top of your council.
Oh, right, okay.
Better not suggest that.
Okay. Alright. So, Douglas, you had some projects you wanted to go on,
I've
I
written
know.
to the parish
You've
clerk
written
about
to the clerk about them. If anybody else,
I
do you
know
want to
your ideas. Do you want to outline?
outline what you had?
Well, I know what I wrote. Oh,
Yeah,
what you talk about?
for the sake of
Well, I don't
everybody
know.
else.
In case you've
All
got
right. Well, I said, if you want to, I said I didn't think it was about this 50,000. I thought it was broader. But this first one is about the 50,000, and I'm saying, and I'm adding to what Ruth said earlier, that the parish council ought to consider helping the village hall pay for a new roof and change it. So that's one idea. I also think that the parish should spend, say, £1,000 with a lawyer to find out what we can do with the land at the old school field, whether we want to develop it, whether we can't develop it, because Ginny's put an order on it, that's Queen Elizabeth II field. But it could be argued, and I would agree with this, that the village should concentrate its efforts as far as recreation is concerned on the main recreation grounds. So therefore, in my opinion, and others may disagree, the old school field could be let go and we could use it for other things. I'm not saying just flog it and put houses on, but long term maybe we should have facilities there. The third comment was they seem in South Cambs to want to build loads of houses everywhere. If I was in control, if I was in charge, and I had a magic wand, which I haven't, but I can only put a suggestion forward.
Now that conjures up an image, doesn't it? I have a view with a magic wand.
I preface it with the reality. I would build the other side of the railway at Shepreth, because Shepreth has this wonderful asset of a station.
We won't build
Whereas
a lot,
building
50
down
grand.
inside of quarries and up hills and miles away from anywhere means there's a transport problem, whereas if you build near a station, you might actually be able to walk or bike or drive, not too far. So, I don't know who owns the land over there, but well, you own some of it, but I don't, well, that really doesn't, well, if you want to donate it, that's up to you. I'm not here to pressurise. So, anyway, that's my opinion. If you're going to talk about having a plan, think a bit big and do it. And that's what I'd go along those lines. I'm saying I think we ought to put a notice in the newsletter that we got 50 grand,
Yep.
and what do the people think?
Yep.
Give us some ideas, because we haven't come up with a lot.
Yep.
Well, I'll come up with a few, but generally we haven't done anything. And I also think that when we're doing this plan, if we're going to be involved and closer with Meldreth and Melbourne, we liaise with them so we don't overlap on what we're doing.
Yeah.
So that's it, boom, boom. I ran that off, so I can think some more if you want, but that's
Could we not put that towards the council and get them to some traffic lights at the top of the
well,
road?
500? Well,
Give them
yeah, I tell you,
50,000.
if you look at houses, you might have $500,000 to get some traffic lights in.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough,
Might get a
I
very
said,
dim-lit
if
red
money
light.
wasn't a consideration, would we get them? And he said not necessarily, which I thought was an interesting comment.
Okay, anybody else got anything? Sarah, have you got your defibrillator? If you want to go back on.
Right.
Jimmy? Or if you want to put some stuff together and get to Maria?
Recreation ground.
Playground,
Playground equipment, because that's like,
Okay.
you know, I mean, summer played that when he was a kid.
Yep, no. I mean, actually thinking about, we could, you know, rather than revamp like we were trying to do, we could just provide a couple of bits or whatever we're going to do,
Make
zip
it
wire or
zip
something,
slide,
or
side to
whatever.
side.
That's what we want.
Zip wire,
Right down the side.
yeah.
Which side?
Your side.
Your
Oh,
side.
thanks.
You could put it the other side and the people could get on it to go to the train, so they
Yeah.
Well, that's to get past the sensor.
Buy
Light
a
up
push
the
to
light.
get in front of the hole.
start it up this end and people could use it
Well,
to go to the station.
okay,
I think we need a bike track.
Okay, do we suggest that basically we put something in the newsletter, basically saying, you know, we've got that, and if we could try and bring some ideas back, we'll mention the money, and bring some ideas back to the meeting next month and try to start to move this on. Because we've been going around in circles on this for 2 or 3 years now, and we've got some money to spend and we can improve some things, and we need to start to get to grips with it.
And I will remind you of an old Tony Hancock joke. So when he's talking about begging letters, and you could have a few of these. once you've got this in the newsletter, his comment was, I don't like begging neighbours. Is there anything like the ones I said? You don't want to read them.
Susan, did you want to say something?
Yes,
Only
you
for
did.
Douglas. Well, no, it's okay.
Go on, you can't do it like that, just start and then stop.
Well, I mean, when the level crossing inevitably gets double full barriers, because when those barriers are replaced, it will be full barriers. Then they'll be down longer, they'll be down for 3 minutes instead of 20 or 30 seconds. And you know, over time, if you had a big part of the village on the other side of the tracks, it'll end up being like, you know, it's not.
So we
Not
should have
a
less
nice
trains.
thing. I'm just saying.
But you were arguing before, we wanted more trains. Or more
I'm
cars.
just saying that if you know, for a serious level crossing right in the middle of an inhabited area.
Oh, you mean the Shepreth Parish?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about your scenario.
Proposal for housing development on that side.
Well, I agree that doing,
Distance.
having less people is a policy.
I mean, sorry, I wasn't going to say.
Okay, alright, no, fine.
We'll talk or not.
Excellent.
Mr. Chairman, could I suggest that we, if we've got some money to spare, that we make a coffee shop in the station, so that, I mean, we have a house on the station, belongs to the station, I suppose. It's got 2 rooms. Now, there's so many people go on there in the morning.
It's 92,000.
Yes, every day. We could make a few bob if we installed a coffee machine in there, so people could jump on the train with a coffee and maybe a biscuit or something. And it needs to be manned in the morning from about 6 till 10, sell a paper or something. Wouldn't that be a good way to get rid of 50,000? I know you want about 6 for one of these posh coffees.
Free coffees.
Or free coffee, if you like, yeah.
I hope. I know it wasn't here in December, but it was in my report that we have, you know, it's perfectly viable to bring that building back into use. So if you're interested,
I mean, after people get on the
please,
train holding a cup of
if
coffee.
anybody wants to run with that idea,
But we just got to get some
Is it owned by
volunteers to
Network
work the thing. That's the trouble.
Well,
I think that would be a problem.
sustainability is the problem. You spend 50 grand on it, and while you've got 5 years of somebody running it, if they then move away, then you're stuck with nothing. So you have to.
Well, try to get
Were
volunteers.
they not that keen to really rent it though? Was there? They said they were, but they weren't really. Was that?
That sounds like.
basically there is a requirement for them to look very carefully, you know, to be encouraging of bringing back old station buildings into use at a working train station.
I mean, there's a
It's
house there doing
good for the
nothing.
environment.
You could have it as a house.
Well,
No, there
there's
is
a
house
house
there
there
doing
doing
nothing.
nothing.
They're never easy to deal with, ever.
Who? Never
Never.
mind.
Well, no, they're
But-
asleep, mate.
But it is an opportunity.
Okay, right, moving on, thank you very much. So, anybody, if you've got any ideas, anybody in the members of the public got any ideas, can let Maria know. You'll put something in the newsletter. Councillors, if you could get anything to Maria, we'll try and get a list of ideas together for the next meeting and start to actually implement some things, yeah? Okay, 663, public meeting hall hire. There is a public meeting. Maria asked me the question, and I'm just going to ask you the question because I'm not going to take responsibility for this. Do the parish council want to pay for the village hall for the public meeting, which is being held on the 20th of January on the Meldrith Road housing thing? Is it?
should be being paid for by the council.
Well, this is the question. We don't know who it's going to be paid for by, and they're asking.
I think they might have paid, actually.
Have they paid?
They're paying for
In that
it on the
case-
25th.
It's because Pauline asked me,
On the
and I wasn't
20th,
sure, and I said,
Yeah,
well,
but it's
Yeah,
the
well, I
same
think
time.
they've
They should
now
pay for
brought
that.
They've paid.
That's how I know about the 150.
Okay.
they paid, brilliant.
They've paid.
That's
Excellent.
it.
Excellent. They've paid. Great. That's fine. Maid representative. I'm the maid representative at the moment, but find it difficult getting to meetings because predominantly they're at awkward hours for me. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to keep
Have you
doing
ever
it.
made it?
No. One.
I went last.
One. Yeah. You can. I'm happy to still do it, but I'm having difficulty
Your
getting to
input's
the
minimal,
meetings.
isn't it?
It's very minimal. I don't know if there's anybody with any more time on their hands that would like to take that on. Ruth.
It's in the day.
Well, I think it's a female job, don't you?
I'm not saying that. I don't know whether
You said the pantomime villain there.
if there's anybody with any more time on their hands that might like to take it on,
Okay, can I discuss it with you?
Yeah.
yes, you can
find out
discuss
what
it
it
with me.
involves.
Is that okay?
You're not under any pressure.
You're not under any pressure, Ruth, that the next meeting is looming.
When is
You
it?
have the date tomorrow.
It's before you go away, so don't worry.
Right.
Alright?
But we can move it.
I'll liaise with you about it, shall I?
Okay.
Shall we
yes,
liaise?
Yes, please.
Okay, no problem at all. Alright, I can't get that to an official one then, can I? Okay, correspondence received. Maria, any correspondence?
No, just the usual banking correspondence and the freedom of information request that we've already responded to.
This is the freedom of information request from, this
No,
is the
it's
second,
about the same thing.
about the same thing, yeah, okay. Any correspondence from anybody around the table? No, okay. Invitation to members of the public for topics for future debate, sir.
I'd like to follow on from Susan when she talked about broadband earlier. We've tried to get information on broadband at Frog End, and we are getting a brick wall, and the only information that's come back to us to some extent is if you can get your parish council involved, it might help. So what I'd like to see is as an item on the agenda until such time as we get a better resolve.
What do you want us to, how do you want us to get involved?
Well,
I've already
a discussion
contacted
first.
myself, So
Sorry?
I've been in contact with myself with regards to the Barrington Road, so
Yeah.
I can just email them on your behalf if you want, if you'd like me to.
Well, we'd like something that
Questions.
will move forward because we feel disadvantaged at the moment.
That's fine.
Well, we
That
can
in.
get
I
somebody
don't know whether
else to talk
Susan's
about
dealing
it.
with it, I'm not sure.
I'll talk to
Whether-
Susan.
I don't
Yeah.
mind helping as well.
Maria's been in,
Yeah.
I've been copied in, you've had a fantastic correspondence, they've been very,
Who is-
whoever's in post
We've got
now,
fast
and it may be
broadband,
somebody
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Not in all the village.
And I just sent Maria.
Yeah, you forwarded me the correspondence about the Frog End.
I haven't.
So
I've been,
Well, it's nearer you, isn't it?
I haven't got it.
But we
I can
asked for it.
forward you what I've got, and,
Yeah,
but
cheers.
basically, you don't have to go through the parish council.
No, you just go direct to them.
Go to BT.
Yeah.
We have.
That's why I
We have-
suggested.
no,
And they just say you're not scheduled
that's,
for it.
that's not quite,
Well, that's
yeah.
the case.
it-
Yeah.
Well, that's
Do you want to
the-
send us
I'm gonna
the, have they
talk
sent
to
you
you.
something saying get the
What did
parish
they send
council
you?
involved?
What did
They've
they send
discussed
you?
it and said
Have
it's
you-
If you want to send it to
They
us,
have said they
we'll-
can send someone out
Yeah,
to
that's good.
talk about the
So-
situation.
So if we've
Do
got
you
it
want
as
me
an
to
item on the
organise it?
agenda, then maybe
For
we
next
can
parish council.
get that person
Okay,
on
we'll
the
put it on the
agenda.
agenda,
Put it
definitely.
on the item
Yeah.
on the agenda.
I'll
and then
see
if
what I
you
can
give
do,
us
and I'll
anything
give you
you've got, then
I'll give you a message,
Okay.
an email.
You need to give us what you've got as a starting point, so we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fine.
It probably would have moved forward
It,
by
it
then if
just
it's
says,
February.
I've got there, I didn't read it in
Who,
my,
who's you with? Who are you talking to?
Cambridgeshire.
Yeah.
Connecting
Oh, right.
Connecting Cambridgeshire.
I mean, it says we are encouraging residents to let us know where there are issues with broadband coverage and speeds, which helps us to understand the extent and geography of the problem. Please let us know if you'd be willing to canvass your neighbours and find out if they have similar issues. And then it goes into a bit of detail about the cabinets in Frog End and the technical problems. And it's, you know, they're working with BT.
Yeah.
We can't do
can't.
Well, I've
speed it
had
up.
a phone call from BT
Oh, good.
who say we are not in line for a cabinet at all. And we're not in line for
Anything.
fibre to the house unless you're prepared to pay.
But what do they want the parish council to do?
Well,
They
it
said
becomes you need to have a community to do it. They want names of. It can cost between £25,000 and £50,000 to put a new cabinet in.
Right.
And she said that if you got the community, they don't know what it would cost for the community. It might come. They can't give you an exact price until they know how many people are involved. Hopefully, it's more that are interested, then the less it will cost.
You are aware there's a cabinet in central Shepreth.
It doesn't
Yes.
work up our end.
Doesn't
But
work.
that's the problem, there aren't many people in Frog End. and I
No, it's not
suspect-
that at all. It's to do with the.
Well,
It's,
there
no,
is
it's
one
to
here,
do.
There
It's
is one at Frog End.
it's to do with the distance between.
The Melbourne
No, it's
Melbourne
whether they put
Exchange.
another cabinet in Frog End,
They're
which
not
is
going
what
to-
you would like.
That's just what I've told you. They will not do it. It's not in
I
line.
know, but that's what you'd like, and that's why you want the parish council to raise the issue and
Yes.
try and get numbers.
Yes.
But if the numbers aren't
But
there,
you can
that's
also-
impossible.
You can
the
also
central
do.
government state that 90% of the UK would be broadband optic fibred by the end of this year.
You
So
also.
we've got people in the village who can't get it, and they've got broadband. Also, it's duty to see on hand, mate. We've got people in our villages that
Can I just interrupt? I did have some correspondence from our local MP, and they're attending a meeting with Connecting Cambridge, and she did say if there's anybody having problems to let her know, Heidi Allen. So I could, if you'd like, send me the information.
Well, I can contact Heidi. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, but she's going to a meeting
yeah.
with the company in the next few days. I think next week.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you
do that.
contact her directly, I'm sure she'll fight your corner and work out what's happening.
Because the other thing, the only other thing you can do is fibre optic to the house.
From my understanding, I thought they were doing the whole village, but all at different stages. Is that not right,
No.
Susan? Or is that
No.
That's not correct.
No.
Frog End is not scheduled at all.
And we're not liable for grants. We're not in for grants
No, it
either.
says the situation at Frog End is particularly complex because the properties connect back to two different fibre cabinets, both of which have been upgraded, but some properties are too far away to be able to access fibre-based services. And they are trying to map the extent of the problem so that they can find the best solution. So
they're actually looking at it.
Have you got a
Right.
copy of that?
Sure.
Yeah. That would be good. So I can actually have a read of that and I can pass it on to the person I'm talking to.
Yeah, no, we didn't know it, so that's why.
But tell them to get in touch because people need to. Basically, they put the service in, and only when it went in did they discover what wasn't working. It's mapping.
Yeah.
At least.
Right.
It is to do with.
Well, if you will put it on the agenda, David, if you tell us exactly what you want us to do,
I'm happy with
because
that.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, what I know about that, I could write on the back of a pin.
Well,
So,
we'll all move forward on our learning curve through the agenda.
yeah, fine.
And we'll get
okay.
back in touch with you.
Okay,
Thank
alright,
you.
that's fine.
Let me know if you want me to get in touch with
Chairman?
Heidi.
Sir.
Allen.
That's fine.
One quick
Thank you.
point. Lighting at the station, when you're walking from the station past the end of the buildings, there's a section of footpath which is really, really dark before you get to the lit section of the pavement.
Right.
And if a low energy light was put on the building, that would solve that problem.
Susan, would you
The
like
station or the station?
If you join the rail user group, I'll look into it.
Susan,
Second bigger thing.
To be honest, nobody from Shepreth in the rail user group, except for the gardeners. Honestly, I've nobody from Shepreth.
Okay.
I'm desperate.
Second
Sorry about
slightly
that.
bigger long-term project, which I've had in mind for a while, and I will write to you about this, is the ditches and drainage around the village. For many, many years, the ditches have been neglected and also the culverts are blocked. We've got away with it this winter, but in previous winters, there have been areas where the ditches have flooded over the road in several points around the village. And if the parish council could take a bit of an initiative to try and drive forward with the landowners and with the county council a proper programme of ditch and culvert maintenance, it'll save this village problems in the future, because we're going to get wet winters in the future for sure, and we're going to get flooded.
if you drop Maria a note on that, can you?
Put it on the agenda.
I know Robin Government's had a
It's
concern
like,
about that.
I'm getting more in than I want to get public participation.
Sorry,
Oh, goodness
Nick,
me,
you don't
right.
have to join the rail user group. Instead,
I'll just email you.
there's the, well, I'm organising a drainage information evening in Meldreth.
A what?
I know.
A drainage.
What about the cold?
Sorry, what was that?
A drainage.
A drainage information
Can
evening.
I have drains?
Yeah.
Because
I'm on a tank.
Yeah. I have
People
drains.
Oh,
want broadband.
The acronym is DIE.
for three reasons, several reasons, like you just said, it's going to become an increasing issue. Number two, there's a lot of riparian ownership with people who have a responsibility on their own land, but they don't always know what that is or how to carry out the responsibility. And number three, there is a new drainage highways officer who's replaced Mike. And we
Does he
want
get
him,
paid?
we want him, his name's Peter Taylor and he's starting next week, we want him
In a pair of
to pay
wellies.
attention to us. And so my plan was to have him come with a team of the drainage officers,
Yeah.
and they can, you know, you get to know each other, they get to know what the problem, sorry, but it's worked. And in Mildred, we have a flood avoidance committee in Mildred, and it's worked really well.
Yeah, she might be back now, I don't know.
I'll get them ready.
Do you want to, Susan? Do you want to send that around to us?
Yeah.
Because
You tell me what
I can see several people here who want to attend the drainage.
You can't come to Mildred, but we'll do one in Mildred.
No, we'll get to Mildred. We'll get to Mildred.
No, we'll have one for Shepreth.
Oh right, okay. No, seriously, joking aside, could you send us that around? Would that be okay?
March?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's good for them.
Yeah, no,
because
that's
they
fine.
get everybody
It's a
moving.
very good point, actually. It's a very good point.
Shake his hand.
Don't use an acronym for the meeting.
Which acronym?
Drainage Information Evening.
Die.
I was going to call it Know Your Drains.
Okay. Not die, not die.
Okay, fine. So we got that?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Any other suggestions for? No, right. Okay. Ruth.
Yes.
Anything for the agenda? Sorry. Have you drifted? Or were you just?
I was making a note about drainage.
Or were you just looking forward to the drainage information in February?
Yeah. I'm worried about May.
It's a hell of a night.
Yeah. Can I stand the excitement?
Wow. We'll get Sabrina from the sewage back. What did happen to Sabrina from the sewage?
Yeah, I want to know.
She had a baby. Oh, she had a baby.
Did we see in the first place?
Well, that's the trouble. We never did meet Sabrina from the sewage, did we?
Because you need to send them your accounts where the problem is.
Okay, right, fine. Douglas, anything for Cyril, Mr. Kennedy, sir? Jimmy.
Our camera.
Yes, sir.
I've been asked by a few residents that it's not on the website.
No, it's not, because we're having difficulty uploading it. In fact, in my pocket, as I speak, I've got 2 meetings which are going to my work tomorrow to be uploaded.
A
Because
few residents had asked me that.
No.
Have they been,
for hours.
are they going to subscribe to the email newsletter?
Yeah.
No, just asked me in
I
the
don't want to miss out on all the fun.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Hanford, sir.
No, apart from, have we heard from the hub yet? Did they get
No.
back to
They
us?
never got back to me.
No,
I've
never
requested
come back
more
to us.
information about their services.
No, it's fine.
But
You mean about the money they wanted?
Yeah.
they were asking for
They're fed up with that.
Sorry, there is one thing here. I see.
No, sorry, Ruth, you've had the chance.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right, can't
See, parish council elections are scheduled for 2016. Is that correct, Philippa?
That's not us, is it?
Say that again.
Parish council elections scheduled for 2016. Is that correct?
Not us.
Not
No.
us.
It's not us. Oh,
No, it's not us.
Only some parishes.
There are some parishes that are up for the election, yes.
okay.
Well, were you hoping you won't get back in? Maria.
No, that's it, thank you.
Okay.
What about the meetings?
Oh,
Sorry.
yes, hold
We've
on.
got a few meetings we'd like to
No,
advertise.
we need to tell you about these.
This Saturday, Friends of the River Shep are holding a working party to clear the river, 9:30. Meet at Church Lane near the river. And then there's the Meldreth Road Housing Proposals meeting.
20th of
by
January.
County Council and partners, 20th of January, 7 till 9 in this village hall. And then there's the 25th of January, the Frog End Remedial Measures Information Meeting. Is that Cambs County Safety Officers team or something? 3 till 8. And then
Whereabouts is that?
that's here in the
Yeah.
village hall. And then there's the 27th of February, the Eternate Housing Proposals at Meldreth Village Hall, 27th of February, 2 p.m.
Till.
I don't know, 2 p.m.
Philippa, when does that
Is it- when is
meeting,
it
when does it
finished,
run
the meeting?
from?
She
2
said
p.m.
2
till?
on my
The
flyer.
Eternate one.
Yes.
It didn't say.
Didn't
say.
It did not say.
Be there at
No,
2.
I
Be
have
there
heard
at 2.
unofficially it starts at 2. I'm assuming
Yeah.
it'll be in the afternoon.
We've been told 2.
Yeah, I've been told 2 from Judy. So that's it for events so far.
Okay,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Thank you very much. See you all next month. Have a pleasant evening.